Some trips you plan for months, and some you just know you have to do, no matter what. This was one of those trips for me. Monsoons and mountains are not always the safest combo, but this time I just had to do it for myself. I left from Delhi and arrived in Rishikesh along with my younger brother. And early in the morning, at around 6 a.m., we were on a bus to Govind Ghat. As the journey started, clouds were floating over the Ganga. I swear I've never seen something so cinematic in real life. और साथ में थोड़ा डर भी लग रहा था because it was monsoon time. By evening 5 p.m., we were in Govind Ghat, and the views, I was feeling like I'm in some fantasy world. We stayed the night in a hotel to acclimatize, and the next morning took a shared taxi to Pulna, which was 4 kilometers away. And that's where the trek begins, with a scenic waterfall to hype you up. The climb from here was a bit tough, and we had to cover 13 kilometers distance. So we need to cover this distance in one day and reach Gangaria, which is the base camp before sunset. Cause उसके पहले कहीं भी stay available नहीं है. We stopped every 20 minutes, and halfway through, the weather cleared and the views got cooler. So we have covered half of the way, and we'll reach Gangaria, I guess, in about 2 hours. बहुत ज़्यादा ही सुंदर है. Unrealistic. Valley of Flowers आज जाना was not in the plan, but let's see if we can reach. We will try. We even detoured to the riverside to just sit, eat snacks, and exist. Now, this is what I call therapeutic. I always used to wait for the perfect time to start things, but the perfect time doesn't exist. I wanted to travel and create something since I was 19, but why did I wait for so long to start? Maybe I was just waiting for the right time, which never really came, and here I am starting it. Not maybe at the right time, but I just know I want to, and that's reason enough. And all I had was my tripod, my iPhone, and a promise to finally start creating. मैं पहली बार ट्रैक कर रहा था and it was challenging for me, but I was enjoying the journey. We started at 6 in the morning and we had whole day to trek and explore. And that kind of freedom is what I crave for. To stop anywhere, to just stare at the mountains for as long as I want. It almost felt like meditation in nature. So abhi 8 to 9 kilometers we have covered. We started at around 7 a.m. and right now it's 12:20. Last 2 kilometer बचे हैं बस. Let's do it. हालत ख़राब हो चुकी है because it's steep, but we are enjoying the journey. बस नज़ारे ही हैं जो ज़िंदा रख पा रहे हैं. And the final stretch was never ending. Only these views kept me going. There were mules available from Pulna to Gangaria, but we chose to trek instead. And finally, after what felt like forever, after 6 hours of trekking, we reached Gangaria, a cozy little village with homestays, food, and views. You can even stay at the Gurudwara here. This place has been on my bucket list for a year, and now that I have been, I can tell you, I just want to go back again. Travel has gifted me useful lessons from locals, from strangers, and from the road itself, transforming how I navigate life today. And next morning was the final push to the Valley of Flowers. So right now it's 7 in the morning and we have started trekking to Valley of Flowers. I guess it will take around 2 hours because it's only 5 kilometers from here. So let's go. तो घांगरिया से देर आर टू वेज. एक जाता है हेमकुंड साहिब जी की तरफ और दूसरा वैली ऑफ फ्लावर्स. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is part of the Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. It's in Chamoli district in Uttarakhand at about 12,000 feet above sea level. It started raining, but we didn't hesitate and moved further. A trail through dense mountain forest and the majestic mountains wrapped around clouds that made me feel like I'd been dropped into Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings world. Mountains don't just offer views, they remove the artificial and remind you who you really are. I've always loved being close to nature. It keeps you grounded, it keeps you positive. Most of the time, I'm busy worrying about the future, about how quickly time is passing, and about this long list of things I still have to do. I keep putting these time constraints on myself, but out here, I realize I need to pause, to just look at how far I have come. I don't want to spend so much time worrying about the future that I forget to actually live my present. We crossed a lot of waterfalls, and yet I was stopping at each one of them because the eyes couldn't get enough of this beauty. Bridges that looked like they were built just to test your balance. One wrong step and you'd be flowing downstream. After about 3 hours, we reached the valley, and let me tell you, I've never felt this free. It was like my thoughts couldn't control me anymore. I was just there in the moment, not worrying about what will happen next. Sometimes I couldn't even see 10 feet ahead. Then the mist cleared, revealing the views that lived forever. फ्लावर्स की खुशबू वैली में हर तरफ फैली हुई थी. You can find around 500 different species of flowers here. The valley is home to several medicinal herbs used in Ayurveda, like the Brahma Kamal and blue poppy. This valley was discovered by a British mountaineer in 1931. This was my first trek, and I was literally walking through clouds. I'm so happy I chose to come here, to this heavenly place. This experience cannot be described in words. You have to come and experience this yourself. If you ever come, mid-July to early September is the peak bloom season, and this is the best time to come here. We had our lunch packed from Ghangaria only, because you will be back after the noon. Standing in the valley felt like standing in God's own garden. No human could plant so many flowers across kilometers, in perfect chaos, yet perfect harmony. No barricades, no manicured lawns, only raw beauty. And the trek back down took just 1.5 hours. And by 1 pm, we were back in Ghangaria. And one thing is for sure, after this trek, I'm forever enchanted by this beautiful, beautiful state, by Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand. And something in me felt restless. I decided to skip Hemkund Sahib this time and trekked all the way to Govind Ghat the same day, which was a bit challenging. And yeah, tired was an understatement that day. But we reached by 6 pm and stayed the night in Govind Ghat. Next morning, we headed to Rishikesh, and that's when I saw the news of cloudburst in Uttarkashi. Far from where we were, but it made me realize something. Sometimes your gut knows before you do. Listen to it, always. So this was my Valley of Flowers journey, my first trek, and my first step into what I've always wanted to do. And if there is one thing I'll tell you, stop waiting, start now.